Good morning, everybody. Ian Maddox, HMFP, and we are connecting here in the first week of a new year. So that's the first thing I want to do is greet everybody and say Happy New Year. It is now 2021. I know that 2020 was a challenging year for all of us, really for our society as a whole, for the world as a whole, for many reasons. Don't need to recap those. We're all well versed. And of course, we've had a few events here recently here in the United States that would give us some cause for concern even as this year begins. But here's the thing: there's lots of positives as well, and we have to disconnect ourselves from, and I've said this before, the immediate news feed, because it can just bring you down, and that's not always helpful. I want to try to make these messages practical, and I don't want to turn a blind eye to what's happening in the world, but I do want to bring relevant, current information that is helpful to folks in their financial planning needs and purposes now, in the future, and on a go-forward basis. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about as this year kicks off, this is a time when many people begin through January, certainly getting into February, about taxes, filing taxes, and there's been a lot of things that have happened because of COVID, because of whatever shutdowns. There's been government stimulus that's been thrown out. We had a huge stimulus package that came about in the spring, going into the summer. A lot of those stimulus distributions to individuals, to businesses, have all filtered in. Now we're on round two. I wanted to remind folks that as you start thinking through your planning, through your taxes, through whatever, one thing is that those stimuluses that you receive, those stimulus checks, they're non-taxable income to individuals, okay? Also, with this second round, which is just now starting to roll out, same scenario. I also wanted to mention, and I know I'm probably repeating information that you all can access on the internet. I know you can through many sources, but I just want to be a voice here in our local community and for our viewers that if you, let's say for example, you started the year with a higher income and didn't think that you'd qualify, but then you took an income hit, and now that you're looking at your income for 2020, you say, well, wait a minute, I was actually below the threshold. I didn't receive that first round of stimulus. You can go back and file that. You can apply for that or whatever, apply that to your taxes for 2020, so you can get the same benefit that you would have received if you had received the tax, or excuse me, the actual benefit check itself. And so the net benefit to your income position or your tax liability position is the same one way or the other. So that's just something to take note of. One of the things I want to remind folks of is that also be cognizant that for folks that were over 70 and a half before in 2019, the phase out of RMDs, and then now it's moved to 72. But for all of 2020, you were not required to take an RMD. So if somehow you wake up and say, oh, I didn't take enough distributions, you're okay. It was not required for 2020 because of the kind of the stimulus package that was thrown into our environment. Now, one thing I want to say from a global economic standpoint, or not from a global, really from a U.S. economic standpoint, is that we try to remain hopeful. Hopeful that the vaccine is going to engage, and that's going to allow policymakers to kind of relax their anxiety. I know there's a lot going on right here, even our local community. We're just coming off of Christmas break, kids home, people traveling, and there certainly is an upswing in disease incidence. But I believe that the vaccine rolling out, plus all of the stimulus that the government has thrown into the economy, I get it, there's lots of reason for folks to be concerned about that long term, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. But for now, like in the immediate future, that is typically stimulant to the economy. So vaccine stimulant, those are reasons for us to have some hope that things will continue to improve, even if we have some near-term concerns. So with that said, again, I want to remind everybody, Happy New Year. If we can ever be of help, reach out via email, telephone, website, whatever. Ian Maddox, HMFP. Until next time.